Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to be attempting to fix the cracked dash on a 1986 Toyota pickup. What we're going to do is we're going to grind down the cracks all the way to the foam so that we could fill it with expanding foam and then sand it down to make it all smooth. Then we're going to hit it with some Bondo, cover it with some Bondo to make it even more smooth. And then we're going to hit it with some primer. And then we're going to put some bed liner on it to give it a little bit of texture. Then we're going to paint it brown to match the brown color it has. It's not the original color, it's already been painted, so I got the same color. So let's get started. I'm just gonna put it pretty generously here. I could use a credit card to smooth it down, like so. Like right now. Just use this to smush it in. Press off the foam, get it a lot denser. Okay, as you can tell, it's getting pretty sticky. So getting kind of hard to spread around, but I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna have to cover the whole thing in foam. Just always sand it down. And I'm trying to get into all these little crevices, so everything's all packed in. Until this big one, it's kind of hard to fill in. Maybe let it cure, then I'm gonna fill it back in. So now I'm just gonna let it dry for a bit, so it can harden, and I could cut it with this razor and sand it down, see all the spots where I'm missing. And then once I'm done with that, I'm gonna cover it with Bondo, make all this nice and flat, nice, no bumps, nothing. And then after that, I'll cover with some bed liner. Okay, now as you can tell, I sanded it down. It's smooth, but it's still got some little holes in it that I couldn't fill in with the foam. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean it off with some degreaser, and then I'm gonna apply a layer of Bondo, and I'm gonna sand it down so I can make it as smooth as possible, so that I could get it painted with primer. And then I'll put the bed liner on top, and I'll paint it the brown color I'm gonna have it. So let's clean it off. Just clean it off so I can get all the residue off. As you can tell, it's got a lot of paint residue on it. Just gonna keep cleaning it. Try to get it as clean as you can. Try to get it as clean as possible, so that once I lay the bond down, it has a better surface so it could attach to, so it doesn't lift up. As you can tell, it's completely hardened now. Some spots are a bit harder, like for example, this is soft. This over here is pretty hard. So I'm gonna mix my Bondo so that I could lay it on top, and then I'll sand it down. Just try to squeeze it in all to all the little holes so you can fill it up. Okay, so now that we got it to this point, we have it all sanded down. We have the Bondo sanded down, so it's all smooth. We have a couple imperfections here and there, but honestly, for how it was before, it's a lot better. So now, all I need to do is spray down a coat of primer, let it dry, then spray another coat so I can have full coverage. Then after that, I'm gonna apply the bed liner, and then once I'm done with the bed liner, I'm gonna spray this brown color, this dark brown color, so it matches the rest of the interior, and then we'll install it into the truck. So I'll see you when I get it all sprayed down. So something I forgot to mention before I paint it, I need to spray it down with some degreaser to get rid of all the residue on it. So I'm gonna spray it down, and and yeah, get it all clean, nice and clean, so I could just spray the primer on. You have a better surface to stick on. As you can tell, it's bringing up a lot of the dust that was on it. Alright, so I think that should be good to go. Alright, as you can tell, there's a big low spot here. Everything else is nice and smooth, but here there's just a big low spot. So I'm probably gonna sand it down, apply another coat of Bondo, another layer of Bondo, so I can smooth it all down, and try to make this as smooth as possible. But for the rest, I mean, it looks pretty nice. It's just this one spot. I could leave it as is, but knowing myself, I'd probably be bothered by this a lot. So I'm gonna try to get this all sanded down, so I can apply a layer of Bondo and make it smooth. So yeah, I'll try that, and if it doesn't work, I'll just leave it as is. Okay, so I tried my best to make this look as flat as possible. It's still a bit imperfect, but this is as good as I'm gonna get it. So I'm just gonna paint it with some bed liner. See how it turns out. Hopefully it turns out good. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna apply it with just this little paint roller. Hopefully it gives me good results. See, what I want is I wanted to have some texture so it could look like how I used to. But you know, I'm not gonna get it perfect. I'm not trying to get it perfect. I just want to look better than before. Hopefully this should last me a while. I mean, bed liner is meant to be out in the sun, so I hope it doesn't start peeling off like in a week or something like that. I mean, since this is pretty thick paint, it's covering up some of the imperfections it had. Oh damn! It's covering some of the imperfections it had, so they're not too noticeable. So you could get away with like not having it perfect, you know. It's either way, you're not gonna notice them. Okay, so I'm just gonna let it dry, and then I'm gonna apply another coat. So once I'm done with that, I'll get it painted, and hopefully it looks good. Alright, so I've got it sanded down. Mostly due to personal preference, I don't like it being so rough. But now that I got it sanded down, it's got a good texture to it. If you prefer it to be a bit rough, you could just leave it as is. But I want it to be a little bit smooth. But yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. I applied 3 coats of bed liner to it, so it doesn't peel off as easy. And I sanded it down, and yeah. So now all I have to do is paint it brown. I mean, so it can match the rest of the interior, and I should be good to go. So I could install it back into the truck. So here's the finished result. As you can tell, it's got some texture to it. It looks good. The only bad thing about this is that it's a glossy paint. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any matte color paint here where I live. But if I ever do find a matte color paint, I'm gonna paint it so it doesn't look as shiny as it is. But I'm satisfied with the result overall. So if you guys like the video, please like and subscribe so I can keep uploading more videos and more tutorials on how to fix your trucks.